Ladies and gentlemen, adjust your headphones.
Come on in and shut the front door. Welcome to the You Should Know podcast, the news from the antagonist's shoes. I'm your host, Jim Abiri, my co-host.
Yeah, Michael Akadiri, but you should know that by now.
100% they should. Unless you're new, then welcome. Welcome. If you really want to get a good flavor, you should probably go and listen to the first episode of this series and then work your way through. If you're new. If you've been with us on this journey forever, love having you guys here.
Most definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much. As always love, man. My SKB family.
We love the input. We love the viewership. So, Mike, I'm going to jump into our first story. Okay. Woman attacked by what? Yeah. Said it shouldn't face any consequences.
It? Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's it, then it can't be a human being.
Maybe a baby. Some babies don't have names. They call them
it. All right. What country is it? Because that will determine. Because if it's Australia, then it could be.
Wow. It's the land of beer and barbecue and freedom.
It's back to Florida.
No, it's not Florida. It's not Florida.
All right. So it's the States. All right. So what will attack an animal? What kind of wild animals do we have? Like a buffalo or something?
It's not gonna attack her. I'll tell you it's not a buffalo. At least
it's not a buffalo.
It's not a buffalo. Right. No.
What random animal is attacking humans in the States? And if it's not, I have alligator, but I would want to press charges against an alligator. Like if an alligator grabbed me, I want you have to shoot both eyes or something like that. You gotta I want charges. So I'm gonna go with. But then you got them sort of weird ostriches. I think alligator.
Alligator, final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
Okay, cool. You're correct. 100% correct. I feel like you've seen the news story.
No, I ain't seen it, man. I ain't seen it. But I don't know how you're not going to press charges against an alligator. All the charges. I'm getting a real lawyer. I'm getting an animal lawyer.
Oh, we've got an animal handler. She was attacked by an alligator as crying children looked on. But she says she loves the reptile and that it shouldn't face any consequences. Like, this is the bit that I don't understand, right? Lindsay Bull, yeah? She was like wrestling with the creature. Not my words, but theirs, yeah? After it clamped his jaw down on her arm in front of guests during a child's birthday. A child's birthday in Salt Lake.
Children entertainment.
Yeah, they said, listen, for my next trick, out of the bag of a bunny, and it's a fully grown alligator. Yeah. Eventually, she was rescued from the alligator. I think some people leaped into water to save her. But what's fascinating is that I know if this woman, if I accidentally tripped over her, in the mall, she'll be pressing charges, suing me. This is, them personal injury. They'll be all on my case. In America, they sue you for anything. An alligator clamps down on you, and you're like, no, it's okay. It's like on a dog. I get a dog. You can look at it. A dog's cute, and alligator. All I see is a handbag. No, I'm joking. I don't.
You're crazy. You're wild for that one. No, I think it's a different breed. Like I think, I remember watching Tiger King, and when the tiger handler, ripped basically her hand off, her arm off, not even a hand. Like, no, it's cool. Like she still went to work at the park and whatnot. Like she wasn't traumatized by it. She still went and worked there. So
yeah, I can kind of get that with a tiger. Like maybe when it was young, they grew up. It looks a bit cuddly, and this thing just looks vicious. Teeth everywhere.
Trust me.
The only time I want to see an alligator, is on my Lacoste tee. That's it. I don't want to be around. I want to see them. They don't make no sense. You shouldn't be spending that much time with that.
Forever hungry. Yeah, trust. All right, what have I got? I've got a more local story. I'm keeping it real local. So locals boycott Greenwich chippy named Jack the X. What is X?
Locals bought a chippy.
It's a chippy. It's a Greenwich chippy, so it's real local. Greenwich Borough. We standing up right now, but yeah.
Greenwich, Connecticut, or
Greenwich, London,
Greenwich, London.
GMT, Maritime, Greenwich.
Gotcha. Well, I can let Jack. Can only be Jack the Ripper or something weird like that.
Local boycott, Chippy, Jack the Ripper. You think?
Yo, Jack the Chipper. It's like they probably play on words. Jack, is it Jack the Chipper?
It's Jack the Chipper. That's it.
What's wrong with people? I think this is the first time in history we've both got it right.
Yeah, spot on. We've been lazy with the research, or we understand each other a bit.
No, but this one was pretty Jack. Yeah. Why are they boycotting? Yeah, I can understand why they boycotted. Actually,
so people are upset in it. They're not happy with the name in it. Because obviously people say it's glorifying Jack the Ripper.
Yeah,
everyone knows who Jack the Ripper is. For those who don't, he was an unidentified serial killer.
I love the oxymoron there. Everyone knows who Jack the Ripper is, right? Yeah. An unknown serial killer. You don't know, right? Yeah, we don't know.
It's like Banksy. We all know Banksy, but we don't know Banksy.
Banksy's easy to catch, though. Just put CCTV around where he is. Yeah, you'll find him.
I think they know who he is.
They know.
This country, CCTV everywhere.
I'm telling you.
Everywhere. But
I'm telling you.
Come and do full sculpture.
Yeah.
Little Superman S he's doing.
He must come with a stencil. You know the whole and just sprays it and goes. Because there's no way that's taking 10 minutes. No light. I know.
Come off it.
You're right.
But Jack the Ripper, he was a serial killer, 1888, so the 19th century. He was killing female prostitutes, and so the owner here, Mr. Turhan, he owns a chippy in East London where Jack the Ripper used to commit his crimes, and he said that he named shop Jack the Chipper there, no problems. But he's now saying he comes to Southeast London. He's saying people of Southeast London are the problem, but he says he doesn't want any smoke. And to appease, and he said that it's largely women that are complaining. To appease them, he's giving women 50% off.
So he's not even changing the name?
He's not changing. He said, no, he can't change the name.
He's keeping the name.
He said, here are some free chips, and that should hopefully... What?
Do they get 50% all the time?
Well, I don't know until... Until
what? Until what? He changes his mind?
No, but he said he's 50% off because he means no disrespect. That's what he said.
His thing is named after. You see the difference, yeah? You see East London, they're not clued up. People in Greenwich, yeah, they read books. We know that they think, oh, look at this. We know who Jack the Ripper is. We read books down here. We got the observatory and that. So we're clued up.
They're not that bowing down to pressure, innit? Obviously, we've got a council culture, allegedly. And these guys, Mr. Turhan and Son, said we're not bowing down to that. But here's 50% off. Have to
what they are at economic value. Yeah, they're losing out. And do you know what? Yeah, just like the Ivory. Yeah. Just the Ivy. Yeah, I'm banning. I'm boycotting. I'm banning. Yeah, myself and anyone who's associated with me. We're going to Jack the Chipper. Yeah.
At least this one you can afford the.
I can definitely afford to boycott this one. I can definitely afford to boycott it. I'm boycotting this place until Mr. Turhan changes the name of this restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or takeaway, whatever it is. And in the meantime, I'm gonna find out where it is, and I'm gonna pick it as well.
All right. So let's say you had
What?
All right, someone you don't know is from Jack the Chipper, and someone buys you the chips and you taste it and they're fantastic.
Well, there's nothing I can do there. I didn't know what it was. That's like.
Would you still go there after?
But how would I know? How would I know?
Someone says, "Oh, by the way, these are from
Jack the Chipper."
You're eating them. These are fantastic. Where do you get these from? And then like, oh, Jack the Chipper. You get
No. Because wherever he got them from, you can also get there somewhere else.
Okay.
So I'll find out where to get them.
You find the supplier for Jack the Chipper.
I'll find the supplier. Yeah, and I'll tell the supplier. By the way, this guy calls his place Jack the Chipper. You should ban him. Or I'll put on a wig and head down there and get my 50% off.
Yeah, that's it. You're wig and heels.
Yeah, no problem. Just like those women with the vaccine, I'll go get it.
No, that's a throwback to a story in Florida where people were acting like grannies to get the vaccine. At least they tried, man. At least they tried. They're not hesitant.
They got 4 doses. They got 4.
Quadruple dosing. They're out tried. But let's move on swiftly to the next segment of the pod. This is the You Should Know Better segment. This is where we look at a news story that's popping up in the news, a story you should have heard of, and we look at it from the antagonist's shoes and ask ourselves, should they have known better? So, Junior, what I've got for you now is an announcement made top of Monday morning. Liz Truss, MP for Suffolk, Also
Fan of the
trades-
show. Good
Yeah.
friend of the show as well.
Shout out Liz, always listening
Yeah.
in. She is the trade secretary of this government, and she appointed cricket Ashes legend Ian Botham as a trade ambassador to Australia because he's going to bat for British business down under. Ian Botham, he won the Ashes in 1981 and 1982. I can't say I watched it, but he's also a Sky Sports commentator, a wine enthusiast, and a Brexit supporter. So I'm going to put Junior in the shoes of Mr. Sir Ian Botham. Let's put some respect on him.
No, I want to be Bubba Tunde again. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'll be Ian. It's fine.
Ian Botham, yeah, you changing races and nationalities. Wait, we keep this with week to week. And I want you to say, why do you think you're suitable for this role?
Listen, okay. This planet, yeah, I mean, this country loves a legend. It loves a sports legend, right? Mo Farah,
Yeah.
the M-bot, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
He's now doing corn adverts.
Yeah, but
Selling corn. I'm not sure he even has eaten anything.
yeah, I don't think you have to, I don't think ever.
strictly celery. But he's doing that.
Yeah.
You have other outstanding athletes. Anthony Joshua spraying links all over his body as a brand ambassador.
Okay.
Right?
He's doing it
Myself.
to himself, not to anyone else. Oh, God.
He's spraying it, but he's producing economic value for this nation. Okay.
Okay.
He's doing his bit. I myself, Ian Botham, okay,
Yeah.
an Ashes legend. You may not remember, you may be too young, but the rest of the country does. The whole country does, right?
Okay, so how are you going to negotiate with...
Well, listen. Let me get to the point, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, you don't understand. But anyway, I have done the Ashes. You know the Ashes, they play in the UK and Australia, but I think primarily in Australia, right?
Yeah.
So I've been there a few times. I've got good connections in Australia. I own my own winery.
Okay, so...
And let me tell you something about that winery,
Yeah.
okay? In Australia, do you know what they say? They call it fantastic. They say there's not a better winery in Australia. That's not... They said there's...
Echo Falls. That's why he could be trade ambassador, because he's got better wine than Echo Falls.
They said there's not a better wine in Australia than my wine, okay? And because I've been so successful there, what I want to do is help my cronies, my friends in Australia, broker some trade deals so that way the UK can also try this delicious, fantastic wine for a fraction of the price. And it's not just wine, okay? It's not just wine, but it's also other means. You know, there's good kangaroo meat. I don't think you've had some lately. Kangaroo meat is very delicious, a big delicacy.
Okay.
Even there's some vegans who've enjoyed it themselves, and they said it's been fantastic. So we want to bring that to the UK, and I am the person who could do that because I know people in Australia.
So how are you going to negotiate?
Let me give an example, okay? Let me give you an example, right? We're also sending Frank Bruno to Jamaica, okay, to bring sugar and coconut so everyone can have a delicious fruit punch at a fraction of the price. We're sending Jay Sean to India to bring back some never seen before Bollywood movies or really shake up the cinema. And Tiny Temper to Nigeria or Niger or whatever to bring that suya that you guys were speaking about last week. So finally, we're also sending Wiley to the Caribbean, not to trade. It's just because we don't like it.
Oh, so Wiley can't come back?
No, he will stay there. He will stay there.
Windrush.
Reverse Windrush.
Windrush.
I think that's the title for the show. And these are people who've been excelling in their careers, excelling in their industries, and they're going back to their countries to go and bring back some exotic items. And that's all I'm doing.
Yeah, bro. So, fantastic defense, pure deflection. How are you going to negotiate? You're going to use sledging to negotiate with your Australian...
No. Look, like I said, I'm going to go and bat down under, and then people love those slogans. So that's what you really need. And I'll have everyone on board. Everyone loves a slogan. Everyone loves a slogan.
Down under, unbelievable. No substance, pure vibes. No substance in this government.
Straight cronyism.
He's a big, because apparently he's big on Brexit. This both of them.
Well, yeah. I don't blame him because look, if dude's got a winery in Australia, right? Brexit now opens up the door for much more trade. Not saying he's going to be able to negotiate anything sensible, doubt it, but he's going to get tariffs down on his wine for it to come to the UK. That's the big play. That's the big play, right?
For him, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be cheaper for him to get his product into the UK. Bottom line, forget anything else. They'll probably actually have a couple of civil servants working in that area. But ultimately, the goal for him is like, look, I've got product in Australia. If I can get it to UK for a fraction of the price, then why would I not do that? I understand it. And that's how the government works. Is he qualified? I don't think so.
Absolutely not. He's not qualified. Like, man, obviously, I've watched a few Sky Sport Ashes. Like,
I've never heard of this.
Man is
human
talking a bit. He's talking a little bit here and there, giving some commentation and all of that. But what's all that? That doesn't mean you can do trade deals. Trade.
Man,
Trade. He can do trade deals.
The fact that he got peerage is in itself astounding. You know.
But that just shows you it's all cronyism. That is
of course
what this government's doing, and long may it continue, man. Because they'll tell Marcus Rashford to stick to football, but yeah,
but he's actually still playing. This brother's retired though.
Yeah, that's true. That is the big.
They can't go and send Marcus off to Australia to do trade deal. He's still kicking ball, right? So I'm not sure I 100% agree with that, but the premise is sensible.
They're telling him to stick to sport.
Yeah,
don't get involved in politics. Ian Botham, he even should do more politics. They're putting him in the centre. Imagine.
Yeah.
That's the way.
It's fine when Sol Campbell wanted to run as an MP, isn't it? So.
Solomon Campbell, don't get that man started, boy.
We're gonna send him as well.
England manager. So Sol Campbell should be England manager.
We're gonna send him to get coconuts as well.
But yeah, what have you got?
So my story for you is OnlyFans. For those who don't know, I'm sure everybody knows, but for those who don't know, OnlyFans is a social media website or platform which is used primarily by sex workers along with celebrities, musicians, comedians, chefs, the likes, to share pictures, videos with their subscribers. It's a tight-knit community where people subscribe and pay to see all this content, and it's primarily for them. They can also DM them and have certain interactions with them, which you won't get as a general fan if you're not on the platform.
That's it. They're adding welfare and all that.
They are. They're providing a connection between fans and their content creators. Now, there's been new rules. Under the new rules, people will still be able to post new content on their site, but they'll need to be consistent with the London-based company's updated policies. Now, the reason for this shift is because Visa and MasterCard, the two big digital payment platforms, are not happy with the content that is on OnlyFans. Now, previously, they've also boycotted certain firms that were sponsored or aligned with Pornhub, and they then removed nude content. And it's also happened in the past with companies that were linked with the sales of arms. The two big companies were not a fan of this, and they removed their digital payment platform for these companies, and so they had to stop selling guns. Now, the same is happening here. And content creators are actually being annoyed by this because they feel like they are being denied contact with their clients or subscribers, and are probably going to lose an income stream. And so this is the big problem. So, Michael, I'm going to put you in the shoes of the Visa or MasterCard board.
Yeah.
And you've got to explain to me why you feel that you can pick and choose which companies you're going to do business with and affect. And are you basically now the overseer of who can actually do business? Do you control that?
Look, we are big fans of OnlyFans. Big. We were the OnlyFans. We're large consumers of their.
You got your own account.
Multiple. And the problem is, the real talk. We support the workers and the content creators. I think the main problem was our CFO Jeff. Jeff. It could be Bezos, but our CFO Jeff, his missus caught him on the site, and he was spending thousands on these young content creators, and she said that she would leave him if he didn't terminate the relationship. So he thought he came to the board with that, and we stick with our brothers at this Mastercard board, and we're not going to let Jeff go down like that. So we said to support his habit, to stop him from paying money to the young content creators, we will cease relationship with them, and that's how.
So this is based on one member of the board. He was spending thousands on what?
Well, money he shouldn't have, according to his wife.
Money shouldn't have been spent. All right, so he's spending money he shouldn't have on
That's the kids' school feeds.
on illicit pictures, right?
I think there's some videos in there too.
Videos as well. Or, was it just him? Was there anyone else?
Well, CGI's motherfucker. So he could have been. Either he was in it or they edited him in.
But I mean, was anyone else? Is it just Jeff? Were you involved?
Jeff. Oh, well,
did you get caught on it? Have you subscribed?
Jeff's the only one that I can talk about right now.
Okay,
but
what about yourself? You must be able to talk about yourself.
Myself. Oh, well, I just oversaw the content. I had to make sure that everything was appropriate and I could. It was.
Oh, so you eyeballed it yourself?
Yeah, I can't trust every one of my colleagues. I had to make
So
sure
you
myself.
see your board.
Yeah,
you're doing the work of an analyst.
No, I just wanted to make sure that everything was hunky dory.
Okay, I see. Okay, I see.
So
I see. Well, that's not really fair though for the content creators and the subscribers, because it seems like the downfall of one man shouldn't dictate what happens to millions.
that's the way of the world.
Is that you guys don't care?
Well, I feel what's most important, Jeff's marriage, or people, enjoying enjoying content. I think that we need to.
Is your name Jeff?
My name is not Jeff. Jeff is the CFO.
Why does your name tag say Jeff?
What name tag? You're insane.
You got a name tag that says Jeff.
No, absolutely doesn't. Jeff's in the mud, as they say on the streets. Jeff is in the mud with his missus, and I don't know about yourself, so if you have a good friend that's in trouble with their missus, I'm sure you'll support them. Is that correct?
Yeah, but not the cost of the whole the whole of a platform, whole social media platform. I feel like you need to be responsible for your actions.
You're
woke. You have to be. I'm woke.
You're woke.
I'm woke.
You're woke.
Well, do you know what? Maybe I am.
Leftist agenda.
Maybe, and that's why Jack the Chipper should be gone. But anyway, don't focus on that. So your defense is primarily that because one of your brothers, sounds like there's no women on this board. I'm surprised.
No, there's. Well, you can ask.
I'm asking you, Jeff.
Jeff. Oh, well, we're starting our diversity program very soon.
What? Some of the content creators are going to be on the board.
Yeah, well,
you got the content straight live and direct content.
That's what we need to. We need to encourage them to rise up the ladder.
I see. Well, hopefully they do it above the board.
Hey.
No pun intended.
Hey.
No pun intended.
Hey.
Okay. This is bullshit. 100% bullshit. This is your worst offense. This is your worst offense ever. It's not even coherent. Doesn't even add up. I call one man. Just now, everybody let's stop using it because you think they're gonna be backing Jeff, losing millions. They'll put him in bin, fam. But backing Jeff, nonsense. But it is well. Do you know what? I think the larger question here is not the fact that Visa and MasterCard are basically stopping OnlyFans from basically accessing the main part of their revenue stream. It's primarily the power that these two platforms have, because all your payments are Visa or MasterCard. I don't think people think about that. And so if they want to stop, thank God, I think, well, OnlyFans is a debate, but thank God most of them are, things that we would agree with, like people selling arms and, stuff like that. But if one day they're like, look, we don't like this, or we don't like, they get, I'm not saying they get a right ring or anything, or woke, but it could go either way. And then there's a debate. What happens then? Because they're not regulated. Neither of them are regulated.
Yeah, no, I think it's an interesting one because, as you say, they are the payment processors. But it's almost like, is there no other scope for any other payment processor to get involved? Have they called off the market so much that
pretty much, yeah. It's
wild. It's so wild because there's all these sort of smaller companies. So do they just all these smaller companies that pop up? Are they basically using Visa and MasterCard technology? Is that what
they are? Yeah. So the only alternative is Bitcoin, but that has its own problems.
Wow.
and governments are trying to regulate that a bit more, and it fluctuates and stuff like that. So you got the problems with that. Or there's smaller, independent digital platform providers, but they're going to be really expensive because they don't have the same leverage or exposure or expertise as Visa and Mastercard are not well known. So it's a toss up, innit? And the fact that OnlyFans are going, do you know what? We're just going to buy it tells you how powerful they are. So
no, it's true, and I think I've reading a bit more seriously into it. I think, as you say, Mastercard and Visa, they didn't want to be associated with potentially sexually illicit information or content or
primarily underage,
underage,
yeah, which is fair enough.
They don't want to be associated with that, so it's easier to be like, we're not doing anything, so we can't be involved, rather than take the risk of potentially being involved and being involved in a potential suit and stuff. So they were like, we're going to clear the decks, but that obviously is probably that falls on deaf ears if you're telling content creators who have now made a living and potentially a safe living off OnlyFans, because you can do it from the comfort of your own room. You don't have to be working in other less favourable environments. So I am sort of sympathetic to those who their way of making money, their livelihoods have just been changed dramatically. But that just shows with social media there is this whole proliferation of, we can work from home, but it does demonstrate that someone still will ultimately own the power. For example, with our podcast, if all the podcast providers said we don't want to host this podcast, will be nothing. If YouTube would...
Hey, easy. Don't even say the name.
We already know what's really good at this, so we're not gonna talk too much. But it shows, man, if people want to just take you off, then boom, what can you do?
Yeah, well, a lot of YouTube content creators, they've created separate websites where they have their content. You know, you can subscribe to it. Some it's free of charge. There's no ads because they have problems with YouTube. So I'm sympathetic to both sides. I understand the payment providers and I understand how the content.
Are you sympathetic to Jeff?
Who? Jeff? Absolutely
Jeff
not.
Who got caught by his missus?
Absolutely not. Jeff needs to take a hard look in the mirror and put himself into rehab.
Put people through school, man.
He needs to go to rehab, boy. He needs to go to rehab. Let's move on to the throwback section.
Yeah, the throwback segment. This is where we look at something that's happened in this week, in yesteryear, and we just reminisce. Usually I say that much smoother, but anyway, hey, we are midway through the season, or close enough. Third episode of 8, so we close enough. So, do you know what have you got for us? What's your throwback?
I've got. I think when this comes out, it will be relevant. August the 25th, 2001, the world lost a sweetheart, a darling, a musician, an icon, Aaliyah, an American recorder and artist, everyone knows, dancer, actress, and model. Her, along with 8 others, were killed in an airline crash in the Bahamas after filming the music video for the single Rock the Boat. And obviously, when this news hit, it was huge. It took America and the world by surprise. She was so young and so talented. And I feel like people really, I'm not going to say, I don't know where she'd be now, but I feel like she'd be one of the legendary artists if she still had the ability to still make music. And I still think people still listen to her songs today. They're still all pretty amazing. And it's just a shame that we've lost a talent so early, so young. It's so crazy because, like, when I look at the pictures of her, I feel like she's older than me. But she obviously wasn't. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I look at Biggie and I think, wow, they look like they were older than me. But I think it's just because they were, and the way they carried themselves.
Yeah, they were young. They were kind of young. I think Biggie was 24 when he passed.
Yeah, I think Aaliyah was 21, maybe.
Aaliyah 21. So these are people who were young adults. And discovering the world, and it's just powerful that obviously Aaliyah, who is the focus of today, just had such an impact. To have that impact on the world at 21 is really something.
It's crazy,
It really is something. And obviously it's a testament to her talent, that many people were so interested in her talent and what she had to bring to the world. So continue to rest in peace.
R.I.P. But it'd be 20 years since she died. So
wow,
R.I.P.
Only 41. 41's even young. Wow.
I know.
Whoa. Woo! So I've got my throwback is because this week would be Carnival weekend, and we don't have a carnival this week because of you know what. And I just reminisce a few years ago at Carnival when I was trying to go to the cash point, man. You obviously you want to get your sort of jerk chicken, you want to get your rice and peas. Then man, cash only. They're not looking for the payment provider to take a percentage. You know? They're looking to take the cash for themselves. So we're at the ATM now, and I remember one lady, Jamaican lady, she just pushed in the front. And then she pushed to the front. There was a queue. I was like, just next. She pushed in front, kind of bars, kind of done it in a kind of jokey way. Put her card in. So I'm like, all right, you know what, whatever, innit. I'm kind of just waiting there. And maybe I shouldn't have been looking at the screen, innit. But I think she put a pin in, but she was like, oh, I got it wrong, innit. So I cool with it. She put it in again. Put it again. He said, there's no money in there. And then she just ran away with her card and so embarrassed. I'm like, you pushed in for your
surely she should have known. She spent the last money on the TFL on the way there.
She didn't know. No, it said like no money. You can't withdraw. Like, you can't.
I've never seen it say no money.
No P, insufficient funds. She was embarrassed. How can you push in to an ATM with no cash to withdraw? So that made me laugh. Sometimes be humble where you're turning the queue and no one would have found out.
It's true, yeah. No one would have seen it.
No one would have seen it. Because you made a scene. You made a scene. Now, I know wherever you are, lady, I know that day you had no peace. But, you know, hopefully she got her money up.
Yeah. You don't want to see anybody down, so hopefully.
Yeah, that's it.
Hopefully that was just she just brought out the wrong bank card. The other one had peas in it. Hopefully,
that's it. Yeah.
But no rice and peas for you for that.
That day she was starving. I know that much. She's got to have like 3 years. Maybe next one, 2022. Maybe she can be buying for everyone.
I think she's probably just gonna go just to buy the food just to make up for the
just to make up for that embarrassment. Yeah, but we hope wherever you are, sister, I hope you're blessed. And that's most definitely peace and love. That's what I peace.
That's what we hope for you.
That's most definitely. All right, man. That has been another episode of You Should Know Better. Enjoy your week and don't let us say anything that's gonna make us say you should know better. And one thing's for sure, catch Junior at Jack the Chipper this Thursday, buying out all the chips, 50% off heels and wig.
I will never be at Jack the Chipper.
Heels and wig. Easy, people.